let some out. Don't do what some does.
Hello everyone, Darkside Phil here, obviously in a very festive mood as you can tell. Welcome to the Hate Live Beta Podcast Holiday 2013 Special. And we've got a lot of good stuff in store for you tonight. I thank you for joining me here, whether it's live on Twitch TV or it is on YouTube. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a while since I did a Hate Live, and obviously what I want to do is recap everything that I've been up to recently, especially because there's been so much going on that it may have been very hard to keep track of what's been going on regarding my content. In addition to that, we're going to do it. I know there's a big elephant in the room. We're going to talk about YouTube. We're going to talk about YouTube's changes a little bit over a week ago, how it has affected not only myself, but many, many YouTubers, okay? And we're going to talk about how these changes are affecting everything, how they're affecting my content, the repercussions for the internet, and my plans for the future, because I am in a unique situation right now where I'm actually considering a few things and we need to really hash that out, all right? So basically that's going to be the first segment of the show. Then we're going to take a short break, and then when we come back from the break, it's going to be Back in the Day Holiday Edition. I'm going to be talking all about growing up, what it was like to be me during the holidays, what were the holiday traditions and things that we would do during the Christmas time season. Whether I'm talking about Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, all kinds of fun stuff that we've done over the years, my family and I. And it's going to be fun to reminisce, I think, and to tell you guys about a lot of the funny, quirky little things that happened over the years. And then we're going to have another break, and the final segment, as always tonight, is going to be Q&A with the stream chat. So I would ask that the mods at this point could please open up the raffle so that people in the stream chat can actually ask their questions. Now, a big thing right up front that I want to tell everyone, if you're on YouTube, you probably don't even know if you're not a Twitch user. Twitch TV changed the way their website works in the past 2 weeks. Basically, every single stream on Twitch TV is delayed anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. All right? So the stream chat isn't live. The stream chat is delayed. So when I ask for questions, we're going to have to sit here and wait like a minute until they finally start getting drawn. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm hoping we can get it to work, okay? So that's going to be the Q&A tonight, okay? Pretty crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on right now that I want to get to and talk about. So let's get started rather than dilly-dally, obviously. So, first of all, what's been going on with me? What's been going on with my content recently? Well, ever since I got back from a break, it was about 2 weeks ago. It's a little under 2 weeks ago. I have been in year-end mode. Now, what I mean by that is that I have not been focusing so much about gameplay. All year, I focus on gameplay. I was doing 2 streams a day, different games, alternating between them, doing full playthroughs and stuff. December is not the month where I do that, all right? December is the month where usually I do one of 2 things. I either take the time to do an extended playthrough. For example, a couple years ago, I did Oblivion. Last year, I did Far Cry 3. I really took my time with those games. Or I do ongoing series and content that people have been asking for that maybe I haven't gotten a chance to do, as well as little tidbits here or there that come up. Because as you know, pretty much no retail releases come out in December ever. They always come out September, October, and November, hoping that the parents will buy them in time for Christmas, all right? So, that being said, what have I been doing this month? First of all, I've been following up on a lot of the series that I wanted to follow up with, including Fallout 3, which I hadn't played in a long-ass time. I did finally do a longer session of Fallout 3. NBA 2K14, if you haven't been watching it in the past week and a half, I finally got traded off the Utah Jazz in my career mode. I'm on a better team, I'm having a lot more fun, and I'm enjoying the hell out of the game. So I've been continuing on with that. Battlefield 4, I played 1 or 2 more sessions where basically the game never improved. It just kept crashing nonstop. And then finally today I played a session of the new DLC China Rising that came out this week for people who aren't premium members and paid the extra $50 to get the early access. And it was great. 4 new maps. They're huge. Tons of vehicles. A lot of fun. And that was really fun to play those. So that I've been continuing on with Battlefield 4. In addition to all of that, we had some releases this week. I'm sorry, let's also talk about Zoo Tycoon, which I did continue as well. Zoo Tycoon's important to mention. I continued that playthrough to the point where now I think I'm done with it. I've done 18 videos of it. I've beaten multiple campaigns. I don't think I'm going to go on with it any further. I've seen the extent of what the game can do. And Killer Instinct as well. Killer Instinct I've played and had a lot of fun with it. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of the interest in Killer Instinct is waning. I think it was like real hot in November, and now all of a sudden kind of dying out. Because every time I do a set, I see less and less and less interest and less views. Even my streams, less and less views on the streams. And it's what happens. Once it, a game isn't a hot new thing anymore, it dies out. I don't know if Killer Instinct will have huge interest when all the new DLC characters come out. But I did buy the game, the $20, or I'm sorry, I paid the $40 version of the game where I'm going to get all the characters and stuff coming up later on. Okay? In addition to all that, this week in particular, there were 2 releases. First of all, the big one was The Walking Dead Season 2 was released, Episode 1. I did a live playthrough of it. The stream was huge. People loved it. The video's on YouTube getting pretty good views. So I love the Episode 1. I loved it. I cannot wait for more. I wish we knew when they were coming out. But as usual, Telltale has hooked us with Episode 1, and I cannot wait to continue that playthrough. In addition to that, we've got the Assassin's Creed 4 DLC, Freedom's Cry, which follows his first mate Adewale and his life basically after the events of the game Assassin's Creed 4 and its main campaign. You get to find out what happened to him and what did he do with himself. And that was fun too, but I get the feeling a lot of people are just completely burnt out on Assassin's Creed. Almost no one watched the stream, and the videos really are doing piss poor. And it's like, I enjoy it, so I'm going to play it, If there's future Assassin's Creed 4 DLCs that are story-based, I'm going to play them. I like Assassin's Creed 4. I liked it way more than Assassin's Creed 3. I don't know why people... Well, I do know, because this is the mentality of people. One bad game, that's it. It's over. It's like with Capcom, Resident Evil 6, people didn't like that it wasn't survival horror. That's it. They're done. They'll never look at another Resident Evil game again. Same thing with Assassin's Creed. Didn't like Assassin's Creed 3, fuck it. And now no one pays attention anymore. I think that one game a year is too much. I absolutely agree with people who say that. There's been way too much oversaturation in the Assassin's Creed market. And that might be why there's no interest. I don't know. But I enjoyed the DLC and the playthroughs live as well. So, gameplay-wise, that's what I've been up to. Now, I'm sorry, one last thing. There is a playthrough of How the Saints Saved Christmas, the Saints Row 4 DLC that came out last week. I forgot to mention that, okay? Also, I've been pairing that with every day I'm doing year-end series. Today actually is the first day in a week and a half I didn't work on a year-end series. I'm taking time out to do Hate Live because I love Hate Live and I need a little bit of a break from all the video editing. Because I said this to people before, I hope you understand how much work I put into those year-end series because my video editor is a piece of shit and crashes nonstop. All right? And a lot of people say, well, Phil, why do you put up with it? It's this simple. I could get Sony Vegas right now. All right? I could buy a Mac. The problem is I have to sit there and learn it. I don't have time. Literally, what I do with my day, I wake up, I do a few things around the house, I set up, I live stream. I take a break to eat, I live stream, and then all night I'm babysitting videos, and that's pretty much it. And I relax for an hour or two, and then I go to sleep. I don't have time to be sitting here and learning a whole program by myself. That's the problem. If I had a tutor, sure, but I don't have time for that anymore. I learned this video editing program back when I used to have my full-time job, and I do this as a hobby, and I would take an hour or two out of the day to fuck around with it, and I didn't upload any videos that day. Well, I'm not going to do that now. I want to upload videos every day. So I got to put up with the video editor I have now because I know how to use it. In the future, this could change. Next year, if I get a new place, I'm going to get a new PC for this stuff, and I'm probably going to get the new software, and I'm going to try to learn how to use it. Okay? All right. So, every day I've been working on year-end series. What year-end series have I completed so far? A lot already, okay? We had the best and worst of last gen, where I went through and talked about the last generation of consoles, the Xbox 360, PS3, the Nintendo Wii, what I thought 10 great things about them were, and then basically what I thought, 10 really shitty things about them were, all right? And that was good. That was really good. I enjoyed doing that series and reminiscing on the last gen of consoles. We did... trying to remember what the second one was. The DS positive changes of the year. The top 5 things that were great positive changes in 2013, despite being surrounded by negativity. positive things about the year that I really thought that 2013 is the best year that I've made content for the internet, despite the fact that I don't have the ridiculous white-hot popularity that I had a few years ago. I had more fun this year doing it than ever before. And I'll tell you, if you watch that series, I tell you why. All right? We also did the top 10 worst games of the year. I'm sorry, the top 8 worst games of the year with 2 honorable mentions. Let's put it that way. And it's funny because I swear people focus on the negative. That series, by far, out of all the year-end series I've done so far, has the most views. It's like people were like, well, positive shit, fuck that, push that to the side. What games did Phil hate this year? And I'm like, I mean, that's great for me, but why do people focus on the negative? I just don't get it. But yeah, so that series is live. And then the series I just completed last night was the, excuse me, the best games of 2013 that you did not play. Now, of course, some of you probably did play them. I would be very surprised if any of you played all of them like I did. Okay, so if you want to see what are the games that maybe, wow, I didn't hear about this one, let me take a look, and maybe it'll give you a hint to go look at a playthrough you skipped or whatever, watch that video series, okay? And that's it for now. Today, like I said, I'm taking time off. Those series will continue starting on Saturday. And the reason I say Saturday is because tomorrow John Rambo is going to be here. I know, right? Finally, after weeks where he wasn't able to make it, John Rambo's going to be here. We're going to do Smart Guys. We haven't done it in weeks now. We got a ton to talk about. Tonight, I'm actually going to watch TNA and see what the hell they do with Final Resolution. And we're going to talk about the TLC pay-per-view. We're going to talk about what WWE's doing after that. We're talking about TNA. It's going to be a great Smart Guys. And then we're going to do something with gameplay, and we don't know what yet. And the reason we don't know what yet is because of the next issue I'm about to bring up, which is the other thing that I've been doing on a daily basis. YouTube's new changes to this content ID match system that are negatively affecting everyone, all right? And I talked about this in Ask the King last week. I've got to talk about it again here so that people are in the clear about this. It's this simple. As of right now, I am not playing Nintendo games, period. Because Nintendo is content ID matching every single video I've ever made of Nintendo content. I kid you not. They've done it. Every single game that was on a Nintendo system, including retro games, Super Mario World and shit like that, Super Mario Brothers 3, they're all getting taken from me. And I'm not going to continue to promote Nintendo content if, you know, they're going to steal money from me, because that's what it is. They're stealing the ad revenue, right? If fair is fair, if Nintendo wanted to take a portion of it, if Nintendo wanted to talk to gamers about it, but no, they're so high and mighty, they think they own the planet. So if you've ever touched a Nintendo game, that experience you had with Nintendo, they own it. That's what they're saying right now on YouTube, and I'm done with them. I'm absolutely done with them. So unfortunately, the Super Mario 3D World playthrough is on hiatus. If Nintendo ever changes their fucking mind and decides not to be this kind of attitude towards gamers, maybe I'll start up again. But as of now, I'm done with them. And I'll be honest, I've got this game right here. I played it for one day. And I got busy with other stuff. I was spending time with my girlfriend. There was actually an update on the Injustice app on my iPad where I was playing through there to get an unlockable character. I was busy. And then, finally, when I had time to go back to it, Nintendo pulls this content ID shit. I don't fucking want to play it. Why would I want to play that game? It leaves a bad taste in my fucking mouth. A company that doesn't like its customer base, they think that they own them. So, if that's the attitude they're going to fucking have, fuck them. That's all I have to say. So, tough shit to Nintendo. So I'm not continuing on that playthrough. I'm not promoting Nintendo games for free, you know, when they're going to steal my money and steal my content. So it's that simple. So it's over. And I hate to say that because, like, you know, I was loving Super Mario 3D World. I thought it was quite an exceptional Mario game. I said it was one of the best ones I've played in years, and now I'm not going to play it anymore, so fuck them. Oh well, it's their loss. So John and I are going to find something to do tomorrow. I can't tell you what it is yet because I haven't talked to him about it yet. It might be some randomness. Maybe we'll jump onto Xbox Live and see if there's new indie games to play. Maybe we'll jump on the Ouya again. Maybe we'll do WWE Fantasy Sims. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to do something fun. So no matter what, I hope you'll join us tomorrow for this special, you know, it's going to be like a holiday themed, by the way. We'll figure out a way to make it holiday themed. And we'll go from there. Okay? We'll go from there. And I love the idiots on the stream. Here they go. You only play for money, not for fun. Dude, if someone stole from you would you want to enjoy what they made? Think about it. Someone walked into your house and stole. Would you then go buy their product? Would you go play with their product? You know what I mean? No. And it's free promotion. I'm not giving Nintendo free promotion of their games if they're not going to help me. You know what I mean? Why would I do a favor for you if you're fucking my ass? You think logically and use your fucking head. It's not about fun. No matter what game I play, it's fun. That's why I'm doing it. I can play other games that are fun while I could still make money and I'm not getting fucked in the ass. That's why I'm not playing Nintendo games. So Nintendo fanboys, I hate to say it, need to shut the fuck up. It's time to man up and be mature adults and understand that the company that you're a fan of is anti-fucking gamer. They are. They think they own you. And you need to wake the fuck up. Stop being a fucking fanboy. I'm tired of this fanboyism bullshit, alright? Cut the shit out. Enough defending them because they've got a failing console. And yes, it's failing. They wanted it to be a huge hit, and it's not a hit at all, the Wii U. So they're scraping their pennies together to try to stay afloat. And this is one of the things that they're scraping together. Oh, we're just going to claim all of our fucking content on YouTube and try to get the ad revenue. They're fucking you. Yes, you. Not just me. You. And you need to wake up. Okay, so tomorrow, holiday gameplay with John Rambo, all right? And then this weekend, starting Saturday, I'll continue with the year-end series. The next one is actually going to be the worst gaming trends of 2013. Boy, was there a lot of bad trends this year. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to that year-end series, let's put it that way. And I'm going to be pairing that with new gameplay. Now, you might be saying, what's Phil going to play? Oof. I'm going to do the Belch Olympics, obviously. No. I am going to be doing different things. At one point, I am definitely going to be continuing on with NBA 2K14. All right? I didn't play it for this week. I was busy with other stuff. But I do want to get back to it. So that's definitely a major thing. I've been hearing something about a new game that came out on Xbox One. They said it's downloadable. Some people said, well, aren't you playing it? I was like, what is it? What are you talking about? I didn't even know that a new game was coming out. Some weird, it's really weird. Whatever, Matt something, and I don't know. But I might look into it if people are interested, but I don't even know what it is. Okay? I honestly, I don't know what it is. If I don't know what it is, I can't tell you if I'm playing it or not. All right? And unfortunately, I can't fucking see anyone's responses because the chat is 60 seconds delayed. Usually people would say, oh, it's this, and yeah, it's this or that, and now I can't even see that for 60 seconds. So I'll already be on another subject. Thanks, Twitch. What else? Well, you know, there's plenty of stuff I can continue on with. There's stuff I never went back to. I never went back to Forza. I never went back to Need for Speed Rivals. So there's a chance I might check those games out. I don't know. I'll be honest, neither of them bowled me away when I played them the first times, which is why I haven't been playing them. I never went back because I wasn't really like, wow, this is so good. There's always the potential I could go back to Fallout 3 at one point. I'm trying to think what else is left over. Quite honestly, I don't think there's a heck of a lot. I think that at this point, you know, Saints Row 4 we finished. We've played all the DLCs for it. That one I could trade in. I'm actually looking at the games over here. Grand Theft Auto 5, I have to make this announcement. I talked about it on Friday of last week, but I want to officially make this official so that people understand what's going on. Grand Theft Auto 5 is done at this point. If there are story-based DLCs, I'll check them out. But Grand Theft Auto Online is basically a huge bust. And it's disappointing to me because obviously, as you know, I wanted to do Suicide Kings. I wanted to bring them back. And it seems like besides the very first session that we ever did, which was way back in October, it's just been fail after fail. So many things, creative things that I wanted to do with it that just don't work. I wanted to do stuff with the train. It doesn't work. I wanted to drive cars together at high speeds. It doesn't work. I wanted to try, aerial stuff. Doesn't work. Most of the stuff I want to do doesn't work. Because what they tried to do, instead of making it an open world where you can fuck around and do zany stuff, like, for example, Red Dead Redemption's online mode was, here they tried to make it some kind of a serious thing where you do missions and you level up and you unlock new missions and content. And it's like, do I want to play the fucking online mode for 40 hours before it's really free world and I can do whatever I want? No. So unfortunately, I hate to say it, I did not get enough good content to do Suicide Kings. So those videos of the first few sessions of online gameplay are live. You can watch them on YouTube, and there are some very funny moments in there. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see the reason to work hard and try to piece together a masterpiece out of something that only has a couple golden nuggets of funny stuff, and everything else is kind of like, it didn't work. So I am very disappointed with Grand Theft Auto Online. I thought the world of it from what they promised it was going to be. It sounded like it was going to be great. Here we are in December. We still don't have heists. We still don't have a true full level editor. There is a mission creator, but it's not as good as what people thought it was going to be. And people say it's way too complicated to try to get it to figure out to do anything interesting with it. Grand Theft Auto Online was a bust, and I think Rockstar pretty much needs to concede defeat at this point instead of trying to make excuses and say that new stuff's coming. I mean, guys, no one's going to be playing Grand Theft Auto Online very shortly, all right? It's over. The holiday season's done. People are going to move on. So if you were going to have your best stuff, you should have put it out during the time frame when the game was new, and people would have got hooked. Now it's too late, in my opinion. So, it is what it is. Sometimes things don't come together. Sometimes they do. In this case, it did. All right. So yeah, I'm in the next week or two. Obviously, there's going to be time off. For example, on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I'm going to be doing way less. I may not even put out gameplay those days because I'm going to be doing stuff with my family. I'll be going to dinner with them on Christmas Eve. Usually on Christmas Day, I go over there, spend time with them, and we have dinner together as well. So I'm not sure exactly what the schedule is going to be. I'll try to give everyone a rough idea as it's happening on Twitter. Usually is where I announce this stuff. But at the same time, I am going to be working on the Christmas special. Basically, as soon as I'm done with the worst gaming trends. So probably Saturday, Sunday of this week, we'll have worst gaming trends paired with some kind of gameplay. Some will probably be NBA. Some might be something else. We'll have to see what we want to do. And then starting on Monday, I'm going to go hardcore into working on this Christmas special. And I hope it turns out the way I want it to, although I don't know. It's going to be, basically, let me put it to you guys this way. It's going to be a blast from the past. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to give it away, but it is going to be a one-man show. It's going to be a blast from the past, and it's going to be kind of a little bit of an homage to those of you who have been viewers of mine for a long time. At the same time, for newcomers, it should make sense too. All right, I think it's going to be pretty good. But I'm just, kind of yanking my own chain here. You judge for yourself, but I'm going to try to get that out on Christmas Day. I know many of you are busy on Christmas Day. Just watch it when you can. I think it's going to be worth your time to check it out, okay? So that's roughly just what's coming up in the next week. I'm not exactly 100% what's going on in the next week. It's going to be a weird week because of the holiday. I may be doing some jumping online and doing fan appreciation. I may play some more Black Ops with people on Xbox 360. I may do Battlefield 4, try to get as many people in a lobby as possible, even though it's extremely difficult with that game. I still got Assassin's Creed 4, so maybe we could try to do some more of that online co-op. I don't know. Traditionally, Christmas week, I do fan appreciation, so we'll see what I can fit in during the week. This isn't like a big gameplay-heavy week for me where I'm worried about, oh no, every day I got to do constant playthroughs. It's not like that. It's a casual, laid-back week for me. Let me see. Outside of that, the only other things that I want to mention is that, obviously, I am going to take some time off to spend the New Year's with my girlfriend. So, Monday, December 30th, Pandalee's coming here to hang out with me, and she'll be here all week. She's leaving the Saturday after. So that week, you probably won't see any gameplay. It might be a dead week, to be completely honest. I don't know what I would really put out that week. It's not like I've been playing a shit ton of stuff and I have footage built up or anything like that. I don't. So it may be a slower week for me, but when I come back from that, it's going to be the Game of the Year Awards. Okay? So the rough schedule for year-end videos. This weekend, it's the worst gaming trends. Early into middle this week, I'm working and then I'm releasing the Christmas special. Immediately after Christmas special, it's going to be the fan-voted funniest moments of the year. Then I'm taking time off. Then I come back and I do the Game of the Year Awards. All right? So fair enough. Sounds good. Speaking of which, the fan-voted funniest moments, I know I haven't opened the polls for you guys to vote yet. I need to do that. I'm going to work on that soon. This week, I promise you, the polls will be open. You'll be able to start voting because at the end of this week, I need to start working on that series. So you gotta. I know we're gonna have record low votes, and it's my fault because I've been so busy. I haven't had a chance to do it. But when I do it, I would appreciate if you jump in there and you vote for your favorites. Okay. Whew, okay. All right, now the only other thing that I want to talk about, and obviously this is the big one, this is going to be a big chunk of the podcast. We've got to talk about what's going on YouTube. YouTube, this past week, well, actually, it was a week from Monday, so it's been about a week and a half now. Decided to do something unprecedented. They never done anything like this before, and it's all spurring from a lawsuit from certain music companies against Full Screen. Now, if you're not aware who Full Screen is one of the biggest partnership companies on YouTube. What they do is they find channels that are getting views, and they contact the channel owner. They say, how would you like to make money doing what you're doing? Give us the advertising rights, right? And we'll pay you a cut of what you make on the ads. And in turn, we're going to give you cool things. Like, we're going to hopefully help protect you from copyright strikes and things like that. We're going to give you a dashboard where you can track your videos and how much money you're making. We're going to give you customer support 24/7. We're going to give you all these things as part of the partnership program, okay? Well, Full Screen got sued by music companies because music companies said that way too many Full Screen partners were using copyrighted music in their works. And of course, when this goes in, it trickles down to YouTube, saying, well, it's YouTube's fault because YouTube doesn't have anything to prevent it. Full Screen can't be expected to check every video someone uploads. It's not their business. It's YouTube's. So YouTube, in all of its wisdom, said, here's what we're going to do. Instead of instituting a new system where we actually are responsible and in some kind of a logical manner, we're going to review content that's been flagged as copyrighted, and we're going to have intelligent adults look at this and make legal judgments on the videos. Instead, they said, we're going to create this giant fucking automated algorithm, okay? It's going to be completely robotic. There's no human involved in the process whatsoever. And what it's going to do, it's going to run in the background of YouTube all the time. And it's just going to be checking every video on YouTube to see if it can match up something that's copyrighted, okay? Now, there's problems with this. Number one, the system has absolutely no fucking way to know if something that's copyrighted is being used under fair use or if the person who is using copyrighted content has permission to use it. There have been people who have written consent, they've been hired by companies to do stuff, and they're getting content problems, copyright issues, because YouTube's system is completely automated, okay? Number two, it's misidentifying stuff like crazy. There are people who play Nintendo games and they got a content match from Sega, even though it's like Mario. There are people who are like me. I had my practice footage of Tetris when I was practicing Tetris on the NES, okay? So play it at SGC in the Iron Man of Gaming. They flagged my Tetris videos saying that a music company named CD Baby had a copyright claim to it. What? A modern music company that distributes music on the internet has rights to an NES game? No, YouTube, they don't, all right? So this system is a hideous mess, and Google knew it. Google knew that the system was a mess, but they basically needed to try to cover their own ass because they're pussies, and instead of actually putting up and fighting these music companies and saying, no, this is creative content, this is fair use, they've pussified themselves like they always have because they have no fucking balls. And so what they did is they created this bullshit system that doesn't work. And what they did this past week, they flipped the switch so that this system affects everyone on YouTube. It used to only be people who were like not partnered. So if you were just a common YouTube user who uploaded some videos, you may have gotten content ID matches. Well, now everyone's affected. We're talking the biggest YouTubers that there are getting hundreds and hundreds of content ID flags. And here's the worst part. When you get flagged, number one, you lose all advertisement rights to the video. So you have videos out there that have millions of views that people put their blood, sweat, and tears into making, and they no longer can make money off those videos anymore. Number two, some videos it completely blocks. So sometimes you may have a playthrough and part 12 is just gone. It's gone. It's blocked, and that's it. Your content's ruined. You have a playthrough with parts missing. It's ruined. But that's what's happening right now. So there's this big epic controversy on the internet around this. Everyone's reported on it. Kotaku, IGN, every GameSpot, every mainstream media has now covered it. Okay, and YouTube basically responded this week with a big fuck you and said, we don't care. This is our policy. We stand behind it. You can use the tools that are in place to dispute these content ID claims, and we don't care about you. Bye. And that's pretty much what they said. Now, keep in mind, they decided to institute this during the holiday season. Just goes to show you that the bigwigs at Google are pieces of shit. Really, they're worthless humans. They think that the perfect time to fuck you is the holiday season. This is the time to do it. Like, what kind of fucking humbug Scrooges motherfuckers work at the upper echelon of Google and made this decision? Because everyone else that I know is in a festive mood. We're celebrating. Look at me. We've got snow fucking flying around. We're wearing Santa stuff. We're decorating everything. We're getting ready for Christmas. These guys are in their boardroom. Push the button. Fuck everyone. What kind of a human does that? So I just want you to think about that. What the kind of people the management at Google are. All right? What low form of human life they are. Just saying. So, they did this. And YouTube gamers in particular have been slammed harder than anyone else because up to now, all YouTube gamers who were under a partnership contract never had problems with things like visual content or third-party copyrighted music being in video game playthroughs. All of a sudden, we've all been slammed. I had over 400 content ID matches. Actually, as of now, I believe I've had over 500. All right? And so everyone's been scrambling to try to figure out how to fix these problems. Now, for those of you who are affected, and maybe you haven't been watching my content recently, I have a playlist of videos where every day, today's the first day I haven't done it since this thing launched. Every day I've been making a new vlog over on DSP Gaming. And I know that's not where I usually do vlogs, but I wanted them to get the most attention, and that's where all my gaming content is, okay? Where I've been covering ways to fix this. There's several things you can do. You can dispute the claims, although it doesn't always work. You can remove copyrighted music from your video with a tool that YouTube has. And we've been messing with the tool and learning new things about it. And if you do that, you can remonetize your videos. Or if your video's blocked, it'll be visible again. All right? We've been trying to find workarounds for it. But the bottom line is, for me, here's my situation. As you know, this is my life. This is my business. This isn't something I'm dicking around with. And by the way, for those of you who are newcomers, who don't know too much about me, because I know there are newcomers every day who are watching my content, I never chose this. I never chose to do this full time, all right? What happened was I always had a full-time job my whole life up until the end of 2010. So to give you some perspective, during the year of 2010, I received recommendations for promotion. I received commendations for going above and beyond the level that was expected of me at my job. I have awards. I have awards proving it. Okay? I also earned a continuous improvement certification, basically saying that they sent me to school to learn thousands and thousands of dollars worth of training to continuously improve the corporation that I was working for. After receiving all of that in the year of 2010, in October they laid me off. All right? October of 2010. So I just want you to think about that. That's corporate America. That's Google. That's Google. That's what Google is. Okay? That's the same thing. That's why I've been in corporate America. I know how those top people think. They're worthless human beings. So, after all that hard work, I get laid off. Now, I've never been jobless in my life. All my life, I've held a job. And I was like, what am I going to do? The problem was I just bought this condo. I had all these high bills to pay. And I was blindsided. I didn't have anything to fall back on. And I went and looked at the job market, and it was terrible. And since then, the job market here in Connecticut, where I live, has completely collapsed. There are no jobs of any caliber of what I was doing anymore. And since then, my father was laid off from the same company. My father's best friend was laid off from the same company. They've done about 4 new waves of layoffs since then. And that company is thinking of leaving Connecticut entirely and just basically finding a way to save money on their workforce. It's disgusting. But this is the reality of the United States right now and what's happening with a lot of companies in the United States because the economy sucks right now. All right? So I was stranded. I had no form of income and didn't know what to do. I started doing YouTube as my last resort, hoping that I could make it work. And I have, I have. And with all the odds against me, I was seen as the underdog. I made it work, regardless of being kicked off of multiple websites, being kicked out of the AdSense program. I made it work. And so here I am 3 years later. I'm still able to do it full time. And by the way, not by choice. If there was a stable job system in Connecticut right now where I could get something similar to what I was doing, and I could do that and then do videos, at this point I might. Because we've had so many fucking things, hoops I've had to jump through, and so much bullshit I've had to put up with since I did this full time, it's probably more stable to do that, all right? I'm not one of these people that quit their full-time job willingly to do YouTube full time. No, and I never would have. I was forced into this. So I love these people now because we have this situation where all gameplay people who do videos on the internet are having all their content stolen from them. No one can make any ad revenue on it. And you've got these petty little disgusting trolls who are now going on everyone's videos, not just mine, everyone's videos is saying, ha ha ha, fuck them. They thought they could make a quick buck on YouTube. They don't have real jobs. Go get a real job. Fuck you for making money. And it's just the most petty, jealous shit from people who their whole lives obviously haven't been able to do something that they love for work and haven't been able to find a way to make money having fun doing it. And so they're just going to throw their fucking shit fest at our faces because people like me have been able to make it happen and they haven't. Now, I know for a fact that I'm one of the luckiest people in the world. I get to do for a living what I love. Play video games, share my content with you guys, do fun podcasts like this. I am like one of the luckiest people on the planet. And amongst this whole content ID fiasco, I'm actually one of the most protected people on YouTube. And the reason I say that is because I have 25,000 fucking videos monetized since I started this channel. So, oh no, you took away 400 of my videos? Good thing I have 24,600 more. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like a trickle in a lake. But for a lot of YouTubers who don't have my business model, which is most of them, most of these bigger YouTubers, all they do is upload 1 to 2 videos a day and hope they get 100,000 views or more on them daily, they're fucked. Because if you only have 300 videos and 100 of them just got flagged, you're done. Your content, you will be making no money on any of your old content, okay? Now, what I can tell you is this. Right now, as of right now, I've pretty much nipped the problem in the butt. I've realized that the gameplay that I'm going to have the most problems with is going to be games like Grand Theft Auto, Saints Row 4, Sleeping Dogs, these games that had licensed soundtracks playing in the background. In the future, if I play those games, I now know I have to play them with the music set to off. It's just an inevitability. It's something that's going to happen with anyone who wants to do gameplay videos. You have to have the music turned off, unless it's just like the orchestral soundtrack or whatever the soundtrack is of the game in it, all right? So, it is what it is. But for me, those videos are going to be the ones that are going to always have problems. Nintendo, because Nintendo apparently has actively said, yes, we're claiming all your money, fuck you. There's a couple other companies, Konami, and what was the other one? Shit. Bandai Namco when it comes to anime games like Naruto. And Warner Brothers Interactive, they've claimed almost my entire Batman Arkham Origins playthrough. Yeah, that's right. You know, I just played. They're claiming it and claiming they own all rights to it. They're fucking stupid cocksuckers. So, the situation with me is this. As of right now, on a daily basis, I now have to waste time. It is a waste of time. Either disputing these claims, these content ID matches that I'm getting, or removing third-party music from my videos, which, by the way, sometimes ruins the audio of the videos. It desyncs it. It makes it sound like shit. It's either that or you can't see the video. It's one or the other. So I'd rather have a video that doesn't sound great versus a video that you can't fucking see at all. You know what I mean? So, daily I'm going to have to do this. Now, today, I believe is the first day I didn't get one. In fact, hold on, because I think I see an update. I may have gotten something. Hold on. No, I didn't. All right, today is the first day that I didn't get a content ID match since this whole thing started. None. Zero. Even last weekend, I got like 1 or 2. I got none. So that's good news, right? What it means is that it's going to calm down. Every few days I'll probably get a few, and then it'll calm down. But it's a lot of extra work for anyone who wants to do what I'm doing. A lot of people were saying, oh, I was thinking about starting a Let's Play channel, and now they're discouraged. And admittedly so. They should be. Because it's going to make this incredibly hard for anyone who wants to do gameplay footage to continue to do it on YouTube. Now, here's the final piece of the puzzle. Okay? Apparently, there's 2 categories now of YouTube partners, which no one knew until about a few weeks ago this was revealed. There's called affiliate partners, which are basically people like me, everyday Joes, who are partners on YouTube. There's going to be this new group, they exist now, called managed partners. What this means, if you're a managed partner, it means that your partnership company, so for me it would be Machinima, it could be for you Fullscreen, it could be Maker Studios, it could be TGN, it could be Curse, it could be any of these companies that do partnerships on YouTube, all right? They're taking legal responsibility for you. I want you to think about that. So let's say one day you decide to be a complete asshole and you just fucking copy an entire copyrighted movie and upload it to your channel just to be a fucking dick, you know? Because you are, you know, because you want to be a dick. I can't imagine another reason anyone would do that. You know what I mean? Why would you upload a full movie to YouTube? You're an idiot. But let's just say you do it, and all of a sudden it gets flagged, your channel gets shut down. They're now going to contact your partner company, and they're going to tell your partner company you're in fucking trouble. We're basically can go after you now for legal damages because you vouched for this guy. And basically, because you vouched for him and he broke the rules, you're legally liable. Now, the cool thing about managed partners is that they basically are going to go back to how it used to be. You're immune from content ID matches, and pretty much copyright claims and strikes won't hit you very often. That's what I was in for 3 years that I've been partnered with Machinima. Now it's all changed because YouTube changed the whole system. Okay? So what this means is, you know, managed partners are pretty much free and clear. And it's funny because there's some people who've been saying stuff like Total Biscuit. I have not really been affected by this whole content ID system at all. I haven't gotten one match. It's like, yeah, because you're huge. You're probably a managed partner. Use your head. I mean, it's pretty obvious why you're not affected. But it was funny because this affected people who were huge, and you know, they didn't think it would affect them. Pretty much all Machinima partners have been affected. In fact, every Machinima partner has been affected. You know, really big YouTubers like Angry Joe, who's now afraid he might have to stop and go get another job because basically all his content's being taken from him, everything he does. All right? And it's a huge concern. So I currently am not under managed status. I am still under affiliate. As of yesterday, one of the bigger gaming YouTubers under Machinima, the Rad Brad, he is bigger than me, and he got managed status. I am in contact with Machinima, waiting for them to tell me if or when I'll get managed status. App update just popped up on my iPhone. And I talked to Machinima as soon as yesterday. And I said, what's going on? And they said, Phil, you're on our list to get managed status, but it takes a while, and you know, we can't promise it, but we're working towards it. So I guess what they're trying to do is with their legal team clear channels who they really feel they can trust and be under managed status. I'm hoping I make it, because if I don't, there's another big change coming in January. That's right. Coming this January, there's another system coming into place called the review system, content review. And what's going to happen is when you upload videos to YouTube, you may be randomly selected to have your video go under content review. If that happens, your video can be stuck for as long as 48 hours because a human actually is going to review your video for copyrighted content. Now, we already have issues regarding content ID. Who's to say that they might not review your video and say it's gameplay, it's potential that it's copyright, rejected? What about a person like me who does video game playthroughs and let's plays, and I've got a new game that I'm playing, and I play it for several hours, and I want to upload 12 videos. 4 videos out of the 12 get flagged and rejected. Now what do? Do I just re-upload them? But now, what about how long will it take for these videos to be live? You know what I mean? So video game people who do playthroughs may be fucked. We may have to have delays of showing when our playthroughs will go live. Some videos may not be approved. It's going to be a hideous system, and it's going to kill business for anyone who does game footage. So I'm really hoping that Machinima puts me under managed status by next month. All right? I'm pushing them right now. If I don't hear from them by tomorrow, I'm going to call this guy again and be like, I know you guys are going on holiday break. What the hell's going on with this status? But I'm in a unique situation where I have a chance to take a huge risk and leave Machinima because my contract expires in mid-January. I could leave and go with another company, and I've already been offered by another company to go under their banner to get managed status immediately. In fact, I'll be like the #1 channel in the company, but the catch is that I'll be making money based off of ad revenue on my videos rather than by views. It's a huge risk. No one really knows what's going on in regards to that, okay? And it's a risk. It would be a huge risk, especially, as I said in my Thanksgiving special, that next year, definitively, I'm leaving Connecticut. I've decided I'm making positive changes in my life. I got to get out of here. It's too expensive in Connecticut for me to live. And this place is too small. It's just ridiculous. When I sell this place, I'm going to lose money. I found that out, that I'm not even going to make enough when I sell it to pay off the mortgage because housing prices have dropped in this area. So I got to get out of here. I just got to get out of here. So with that going on, is it worth it to take a huge risk? To jump with another company just to get this managed status, but then I don't know how much money I'm going to make? It's a huge deal, and trust me, amongst all my holiday spirit, I am mulling it over in my head. What to do. Because if I don't get managed status with Machinima, my business could be done as of next year. We don't know. We have to see how bad these changes are really going to affect everyone in the long run. As of right now, I have no idea. Okay? So that's the whole situation right now. Okay? I wanted to get it out there in one big, contiguous explanation so that people, if they want to know, they can just go to this video and watch that segment, and then you'll know what's going on YouTube. Obviously, I'll continue to update everyone as things change. I know that things will change, and there'll be more updates and stuff, and I'm going to keep making those content update vlogs if there is new stuff on DSP Gaming. So if you're following along those, by all means, continue to do so. There'll be more information there, okay? So as of right now, that's the situation. It's a huge mess. Everyone is basically freaking out on the internet saying, is gameplay video going to go away forever? Because YouTube has basically gone pussy mode and they're instituting these crazy changes. I don't think anyone knows, and it's uncertain. And it's funny because a few years ago, we're talking about SOPA and PIPA, and we thought these were the biggest risks. Little did we know that it would be Google becoming a huge fucking vagina that's going to really screw us all over. All right. So it is what it is. And enough of that bah humbug bullshit. We're going to move on to a positive segment. That's right. I'm about to take a short break, but when I get back from this break, we're going to talk about Christmas. That's right. Back in the day, we're going to reminisce on all of the Christmas times that I had in my life, the Christmas traditions I used to do, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely don't go anywhere. All right? If you're watching on Twitch, just hang in there. There's going to be a short commercial break, and we'll be right back. If you're watching this on YouTube, take a look at the video description. You can click to the shortcut there, the shortcut link. It'll jump you ahead to the next timestamp, and you can just go right to that segment and not have to sit here and do nothing for a few minutes, okay? So thanks, everyone. Going on a short break. I'll be right back with Back in the Day, full of Christmas spirit. Let's get rid of the bah humbug, Scrooge, Grinch shit, and let's move on to positivity, all right? I'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to segment 2. This is the Holly Jolly segment. We're moving out of the negative bullshit segment, and we're moving into the Holly Jolly festive segment of the Hate Live Beta Podcast Holiday Special. Here's my festive burp for you. So we're going to be talking about Christmas. And of course, because it is back in the day, we're going to be talking about the fills of Christmas past, okay? So, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about my family traditions and the things that we always did when I used to, obviously live with my parents and I was a young tyke, so to speak. First of all, we would put up our Christmas tree. I'd say it would probably be about a month before Christmas. It was always roughly around Thanksgiving time, like right at the weekend, usually after Thanksgiving would be the weekend that we would do it. And we would do it as a family. And by the way, back then when I had Christmas trees, it was before they even sold Christmas trees that had the lights on them already. You had to light the tree yourself. And some years we had an artificial tree. Other years we had a real tree. We kind of alternated. For a few years. We liked having the real tree. It smells great, but it's also a huge hassle to move in and get rid of later on. And we would trim the tree ourselves as a family. Traditionally, what would happen is my mom and dad would do the lights and the garland, but they would let myself, and for a few years when my cousin lived with me, we would put the ornaments on. Now, when we started, we had ornaments that were all kinds of crazy stuff. We had Daffy Duck and Mickey Mouse. We had angels, but we also had cartoon characters, and it was basically a mishmash of everything. And we used to have colored lights and a colored star atop the tree. All right? But then, I'd say probably about midway through my childhood, my mom wanted a new tree. And she wanted it her way or the highway. So we ended up going out and getting these peach ornaments, and it was like peach or golden garland, white lights, not colored. And we stopped putting the cool ornaments that the kids liked on the tree. For some reason, she just thought, like, no, I want to do it. It's my tree. We were like, well, fine. All right, do what you want. But we didn't like it. So basically, we demanded that we had our own trees. So for my cousin and I, each had our own little mini trees in our bedrooms. The trees were about, if I'm standing up, the tree was probably about yay high. So I don't know, what is that, like 4 feet? Something like that, 4 or 5 footer, something like that, little mini trees. And basically, all those ornaments that I loved, that, the cartoonish stuff, I put on my tree. I believe my cousin, it was weird. I had a green tree with colored lights. My cousin had a white tree with blue lights, which I thought was weird. I was like, trees are supposed to be green, white tree, that's a little out there for me. But now, it's popular in a lot of places. I don't like that, though. I don't go for that stuff. Now, it's funny because back then, it was also where the lights, if one light was out, the whole fucking light system would fail. So you'd have one bulb that died or was loose, and all the lights on the tree would go out. And you're like, oh my God, now you gotta go through every bulb trying to find the one that was loose. I said this a few weeks ago, after I got back from doing, Christmas shopping with my girlfriend Panda Lee. I said, you guys if you do Christmas trees now, you're spoiled. You have, like, the best technology available. We had a rough time with that shit. And, I'm actually looking forward, if I move this year, to getting a new Christmas tree with all these lights reinstalled in the tree and everything. That's like light years ahead technology for me, and it's awesome, and I want it. I'm jealous. You know me. I'm a Christmas junkie. I love it. I love this season. So for me, like, that's fucking amazing. I gotta have the awesome tree with the colors and the twinkling lights and shit built in. I need it. And the LED, the bright lights, I need it. Okay? Alright. So that's about the tree. Now, what we would do after the tree was up, we would wrap presents and we would put them under the tree. Okay? And of course, my cousin and I had this little game because we were kids. When you're a kid, you're dying to know what is it? What did someone buy you? My cousin would bug the shit out of my parents. What did you get me? What did you get me? What did you get me? Oh my God, she would just not stop. So then we started this game. The name of the game was what could it be? And so what we would do, see if I can find a box around here. Here we go. So pretend that this is wrapped, all right? This is my iPad box from when I got the iPad last year. Imagine this was wrapped. We'd pick this up, And we would, just to be annoying, right? Because we knew our parents didn't like us doing it, but we would hope that it would piss them off enough that they just tell us what it is, so that we would stop shaking it. We'd go, "What could it be? What could it be?" And we'd shake the shit. You'd hear things rattling around in the boxes. Be like, "I wonder what it could be." And we would sing while we did it. And it was so funny. Because we would just be, we did it to be dicks, so that my parents would hopefully give up and be like, "No, don't break the present. We'll tell you what it is." And sometimes it worked. Sometimes they would actually tell us what the presents were, which is pretty funny. So that was good, how we used to do that stuff. It was funny as a little kid. Christmas traditions. Let's talk about that. So, Christmas traditions in the Burnell household. Shit. There we go. Yeah, I completely put that back wrong, but whatever. Christmas traditions. First of all, when I was younger, we had a nativity calendar. Now, if you don't know what a nativity calendar is, it's probably because you didn't grow up Catholic or Christian. What it is, it's a calendar that has like all the days of December up to Christmas on it. And every day you open up a door, and depending on what kind of nativity calendar is, it'll be different. Some of them have like a little saying or a little quip, maybe a quote from the Bible. And some of them have a nice little picture of something like an angel or maybe a shepherd or something relating to Christmas. Some of them are completely different. Some of them actually have like it's a candy and stuff that come out of them, all right? But for us, I remember we had this nativity calendar for like 5 or 6 years till it started falling apart. So my mom was sold to, expensive collectibles, middle-aged housewife. So she goes on, I remember once I think it was QVC she went on. She ordered this porcelain tree, white porcelain tree. It was about this tall, with a golden star on top and little hooks. And she had this book of golden medals. I don't think they were really gold. They were probably just like gold plated. And each one was for each day in December. So on December 1st, she would take medal 1 and hang it on the tree. December 2 and hang it on the tree in the appropriate spot. Until at the end, at Christmas, the whole tree will be filled with these big golden medals shining. And that was kind of our nativity calendar, because it was all holy stuff, religious related stuff on each medal. And so that's what we would do every day. And that was our new nativity calendar until eventually that broke. The hook started snapping off. And then we just stopped doing it altogether. So that was one tradition in our household. Another tradition in our household was cooking. And my mom traditionally for Christmas would make 2 different things. She would make Christmas cookies, sugar style cookies. And she would also make, I don't even know how to explain it. I'll tell you in a second. So the Christmas cookies we made out of this dough. It was a very sweet dough. And there would be different things. You could make a ball. You could make like a long log. There's just different shapes you could make. And then my mom would get icing, Christmas colored icing, and ice everything. And then put like candies and stuff on top, maybe sprinkles. So you'd have like a big Christmas plate of these cookies. And then the other thing she would make, it's unique. I never heard anyone else talk about this particular kind of pastry outside of our family. The way it's made is that it's dough. Think of like a pizza. Think of it that way. A pizza dough, all right? But instead of being round, it's more rectangular. And what you would do is you fill it like a jelly roll. You fill it with ingredients. Now, there's different ingredients you would put. One of them is prune and white raisins. One of them was poppy seed and some kind of other thing. One of them was walnut and, I think walnut and like cinnamon or something like that. And you would roll it up, and it would be like a strip, a long oval-shaped strip, and you would cut it. And that's how you would eat it. You would eat it like a slice. You would literally look like a piece of jelly roll. And you would eat it, and it was like, it wasn't a jelly roll because it wasn't super sweet. It was more like a bread with a filling. And she calls them the Christmas strips. I get the feeling that this actually has some kind of a name, whether it's in Italian or Polish culture, wherever it came from. But she doesn't know what it is. She says her mom always made it. The grandmom always made it. And so it kind of came from her family line. And that's something that she used to do every year. She hasn't done it in a while, but she says she's going to do it this weekend. She's actually making them this weekend, which is crazy because she hasn't done it in so long. So that'll be really interesting to see how those turn out. Let's see, what else? Christmas traditions. I'm trying to think. Eggnog. My dad loved eggnog, but not alcoholic eggnog, just, virgin eggnog. We'd buy it and we'd drink it all throughout the month of December. Let's talk about the actual day of Christmas Eve and then Christmas and what we would do. Christmas Eve, traditionally we did a few things. First of all, yes, I was raised Catholic, so we would go to church. Usually we would try to go earlier, but sometimes we went to midnight mass. It all depended on what our schedule was. So all I have to say is I, as a kid, thought church was incredibly boring. I always did. I never found it entertaining. I never found it fun. I went to Catholic school, right? So going to Catholic school, I said, why do they read the Bible in church? We study it in school, right? So why do we need to hear the same stories over and over? I don't know. I was always one of those over-logical kids, you know what I mean? I didn't always, buy into everything. And so, I don't go anymore, but, at one point in my life, I did go to church every Christmas Eve, against my will, because my parents forced me to. But the big Christmas Eve event that we would do, now this was previous years, I'm going to get to modern times, but in previous years, we would all go over to my great aunt's house. My great aunt and uncle would have the whole family over. So it would be myself and my parents, and sometimes my cousin, whether or not she was living with us at the time. It would be the two sons of my great aunt. So one son, well, they were both cousins to my mom, okay? One guy, he was pretty much always single. His name was Uncle Michael. And then there was my godfather and his family. So it was him and his wife and their three daughters. And their three daughters range in age. One was older than me, one's about my age, and one's younger than me, okay? And then the parents of his wife's parents. It's hard to explain. Basically, how do I explain this? My godfather's in-law. There you go. My godfather's in-laws. So they were kind of like the grandparents from that side of the family, while my great aunt and uncle were kind of the grandparents from our side of the family, although it's funny because none of them were my grandparents. So you might say to yourself, Phil, where are your real grandparents in all of this? What happened? Well, unfortunately, I hate to say it, when I was very young, both of my mom's parents died. I forget how her mother died, but I know her father had lung cancer from smoking his whole life. My dad's parents, I don't know where the hell they are. I've never met them, and I guess they moved away at some point. From what I'm to understand, this is what happened. My dad and my mom, when they were going out and they were younger, they were a very contentious couple, meaning no one really agreed to their relationship. Their parents didn't like it, especially my dad's parents didn't like it, and so they basically kind of almost disowned him, where they don't talk to him anymore or anything. So I've never met my dad's parents. They're alive somewhere, but I never will. I guess they have absolutely no interest in me whatsoever. You know what? Out of sight, out of mind. If you don't care about me, I don't care about you. That's kind of the attitude I've always taken my whole life. No hard feelings. I don't even know who they are, so how could I have hard feelings, right? So basically, my side of the family, I mean, my mom has a brother. He moved to California. We never see him anymore. My dad has two sisters. It was only very recently that he had a reconciliation with them, and now they actually talk and do stuff, but I haven't seen them in 100 years. Yeah, it was... my family is basically a weird one. We all had relationships, and then people just decided to throw them away, and I just haven't seen some of these people in years. But the thing was, it was never me. It was never me basically saying, I don't want to have a relationship with you. It was more like them disowning parts of the family behind the scenes. It was like, what is this? So I'm digressing, obviously. I just wanted to explain to you why I'm not talking about my mom's brother or my grandparents. That's why they were never in the picture. So really, from my child life, my great aunt and great uncle were like my grandmother and grandfather. And my great aunt was great about it. She used to take me places and stuff, just like a regular grandmother. And, I was really appreciative of that because I didn't have any grandparent who I could get that kind of, relationship with. So we would all go over there. And my grandmother would have Christmas music playing. The Christmas tree would be up. When I was much younger, she had a nice dog, a German Shepherd. But of course, all dogs pass away. But that was cool, having a dog around. And what we would do is we would go over there, and at first we would have some kind of snacks. So you go over there, and the first wave was like snacks going around. Here you want some fried dough. Fried dough was huge in my family. Everyone loved the fried dough, okay? Ooh. And then we would have Christmas dinner. And Christmas dinner, of course, you'd have all the adults. So you had my mom and dad, my Uncle Michael, my godfather, and his wife, and her parents, all at the adults' table. And every once in a while, there'd be other invited guests, like my Uncle Michael. Maybe if he had a girlfriend or whatever, she'd be there. And it was the kids' table. It was myself, my cousin, and the three daughters of my godfather. They're my second cousins, by the way. And, we would all eat, and then we'd digest for a little bit. Everyone would have like a snack, like a cookie or tea after dinner. And then my great uncle would dress up like Santa Claus, which is so funny. Because I'll admit, it's funny how I can think back and I can still remember, I was fooled. I thought that was Santa. I swear I thought he was Santa until finally it kind of, one year dawned on me. That's my great uncle. You know what I mean? So he would come out, oh ho ho. It was funny because my great uncle is skinny. So he would puff himself up with like a pillow and he'd put it in his shirt and he'd come out as Santa. And it was great. We would sit on his lap. What do you want for Christmas? And we'd tell him. And then he would give us some presents. Like there was always a stocking full of presents that we would get. And we would open them up and we would do stuff, play with the toys or candy or whatever it was that the presents were. What other things happened? Oh, so some interesting, funny things. My great aunt is the kind of woman, and I know all of you probably have one in your family too, refuses to accept that food has an expiration date. Unless it's like something that gets moldy, all right? So we'd go over her place and she'd put out this Christmas candy, right? And the one that always got me would be licorice or that fucking candy ribbon shit. I don't know who on the planet likes the candy ribbon stuff. I need to know. Because you have problems if you like that stuff. It's gross, all right? But you go to get the piece of candy. She had like a candy dish, and you pick it up to eat it. You're like, oh, this is here for Christmas. And you go and you're like, why is it rock hard? You're like, you get something that normally should be soft. You're like, oh, my tooth. You find out it's like ancient. She would leave out ancient candy as like booby traps. Like, what is wrong with you? So we'd purposely wait and not eat that candy and wait for her to bring out like the new candy, the Christmas candy. Pretty funny. And then, of course, as we began to grow up and become more young adults than just children, we would start to see the cynical side of things. And so my Uncle Michael, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but he would wear a pair of snakeskin boots on Christmas Eve. I don't know if he did it as a joke. See, now that I'm an adult, I was saying, if I was stupid, I would, Christmas Eve, I'll wear my cowboy hat around or something, as an inside joke. But the kids, we would make so much fun of him behind his back. He's like, he thinks he's a fucking cowboy. He's walking around the house in snakeskin boots like he's going to wrangle something up. He looks like an idiot. We're not in Texas. What the hell is he doing? Pretty funny. So that was just a few of the little things that would happen, okay? Then, once all that was done and we all had our presents, we would head home. And it was actually perfect because when I was a kid, when you're out and you have a day like that, you're overtired now because you've been out all day. Santa was here and you had your presents. So we would go home with all my presents from there. I would probably pretty much pass right the hell out. I would wake up the next morning. And yes, I was one of those annoying kids that would wake up at like 4 in the morning to go look at my presents. There were years where I knew my parents wouldn't want me to get up at 4 in the morning. So I would go downstairs, because my bedroom was upstairs in my parents' house. I would sneak downstairs to look at the presents. I would sneak downstairs to look at the presents. I'm like, ooh, look at all those presents. Because here's what my parents would do. They would only put a few presents under the tree, and then Christmas night, they would go out and put out even more presents and say, oh, those are from Santa, or whatever. So it was funny. And then one year I actually caught them putting the presents out. And that was really, if I remember correctly, it was a combination that year. Two things happened. I remember the year when I found out that there was no Santa Claus. There's no Santa Claus. Well, if you're watching my content, I think you pretty much know there's no Santa Claus. All right. The year was, I remember distinctly. It was the month of December, and I was watching QVC. And one of the women who was selling a product said, oh, isn't it just a shame when finally you had to tell them that there was no Santa, or when the kids realize there's no Santa and they don't, wait up for him anymore. And the woman actually got fired. I remember this. It was in the news. The woman got fired from QVC because she admitted on TV there's no Santa Claus, and there was high potential that kids were probably watching the show. So she admitted this, and that was the year I was like, there's no Santa Claus. So I remember that year I snuck downstairs around like midnight, 1 in the morning, while my parents were putting the presents out, and I caught them putting the presents out. And I said, okay. All right. So, oh God, everyone in the stream chat just heard that I said there's no Santa. They're flipping out. Oh, there's no Santa. All right. Okay. So, sorry, I got distracted. So, Christmas morning, I would get up as early as possible. That was feasible. I would run downstairs. I would tear open my presents. There'd be wrapping paper everywhere. And this, someone asked me this on Hate Live last week. Some of the best presents I've ever gotten. I can tell you right now, some of the things that I remember. I mentioned on Ask the King, a giant He-Man thing that was like Eternia. It was this huge multi-castle thing. It was so big that we had to build it in the attic because there was no room even in my room to do it. We built it in the freaking attic, so I would go up there and play with it with all my He-Man figures. Obviously, excuse me, some years I got things like the Nintendo Entertainment System. One year I got the Super NES. That was a huge year. I remember that year was the year of gaming. I remember the feeling of getting that Super NES and plugging in the new game smell used to have with a new console and plopping in some of the best games I've ever played in my life, like Super Mario World, Mario Kart, that kind of stuff. I was so blown away by the Super NES when I got it. It was one of my favorite game consoles of all time. Trying to think of anything else notable that stands out. I actually remember later on I got a few PlayStation games. I remember when PlayStation 1 was out. One year I got Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, and something else. And I played Metal Gear Solid for like 10 minutes. I never played it again. I just had to throw that in there. It's true, though. I just had to throw that in there, though. Okay. So, Christmas Day traditions. What do you do during the day? Well, it varied. It usually varied. Usually, my great aunt would actually visit us on Christmas Day because we visited her the night before. She would come visit us on Christmas Day, and we'd have some tea and relax and exchange gifts, stuff like that. I'm trying to think other family. I mean, at one point, my godfather's family was visiting us every year, and then they stopped. And I think it's because they actually live pretty far away. There was like a 45-minute drive. So after a couple of years of that, when we were younger kids, we said, we'll just do the Christmas Eve because that's enough for us to travel together rather than keep driving. Sometimes my mother's other aunt, who I really don't know her that well, her name's Auntie Midge, would come and visit. When my mother's brother lived in Connecticut, he would visit with his family, but then they moved to California, so I haven't seen them in 100 years. So it would be a day where people would stop by and visit, okay? And then during the day, obviously I'd be playing with my toys all day pretty much. I'd be occupied. And then for dinner, traditionally we would have a Christmas dinner of ham. A lot of people, the turkey. Christmas dinner is all about turkey. I don't know where that tradition comes from because isn't Thanksgiving about turkey? You know what I mean? Like you watch that movie, A Christmas Story, and the guy's like, oh, Dad was a turkey man and he couldn't wait for Christmas turkey. But you just had turkey at Thanksgiving. So why are you dying for a turkey at Christmas? I don't know where that tradition comes from. Well, my family, it was always ham, a big Christmas ham we would have. Similar to, say, the Grinch, how the Grinch stole Christmas, how the Who's had the roast beast. That's kind of what we did. And we would have ham with different things. I believe my mom would always make Italian manicotti, which is a piece of pasta that's rolled around ricotta cheese with sauce on top and more melted cheese on top of that. Pineapple, because pineapple with the ham, so we'd have pieces of pineapple. Oh, what else would she make? Oh, man. It's funny because she still makes it. She's going to make it this year. I can't even remember what the hell it is. I'm an idiot. I think she would make some kind of potato, either baked potato or something like that. I'm not 100% on that. Jeez. Oh, a big Christmas tradition, which we don't do anymore, was petite fours. Or some people call them petitfours. But I think that a lot of Americans just call them petite fours. What those are little pastry candy combinations. It's really unique. It's like a miniature cake with layers of cake and frosting or jelly that's then coated with a confectionery, whether it's chocolate or white chocolate or something like that. And then usually they either do a design or they sprinkle stuff on top. We actually had this tree, this plastic tree that was a holder, and each branch you would put a petit four or petite four, whatever you want to call it, and we would eat them off the tree. Oh, we loved it as kids. We loved that thing. We also had, oh, no, what's it called? Oh, we still do it to this day, and I can't remember what it's called. It's basically it's Italian toffee or taffy. Oh, this is gonna kill me that I can't remember what the name of this is because they still get it today. Shit. Oh, I can't. I'm trying to focus. Oh my god, I can't believe I can't remember. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. Christmas, Italian, tradition, toffee? No. Taffy? Motherfucker. Christmas in Italy. Christmas traditions. It's not on here. This is like super traditional. All right. I can't remember what it's called, but what it basically is, it's a heavily whipped kind of a toffee, and in it is little nuts, right? And then on the sides of it, there's wafers, and it's just so unique. It's like nothing else. And you buy it, and they have different flavors. They have vanilla, chocolate, orange, lemon. They had like one or two others as well. And they're just so different. It's so different from anything else you would eat. And it's like a Christmas tradition in Italians to get these things. I can't remember the name of it. No, it's not truffles. Everyone's trying to guess in the stream chat. I can't put my finger on what it's called. It's not a truffle. Oh my god. I guarantee you, I'm gonna eat it this next week at Christmas. I'm gonna be like, fuck! I can't believe I couldn't remember what it was on Hate Live. Oh, it's not a truffle. All right, guys, I give up. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it. They're not truffles. That's not what they are. Shit. Yeah, it's kind of a nougaty thing. Yeah, Lord Dark Soldier says, is it nougat? Yeah, it's kind of like nougat almost. Yes, nougat with nuts in it and wafers on the side. Why can't I remember what it's called? No one knows what it is. Someone else says they knows what I'm talking about, but they forgot the name. Spaghetti? Yeah, it's spaghetti. All right. So that was great. Those things were great. I absolutely love those. And then, traditionally, after having family visit and playing with our toys and having Christmas dinner, we would kind of just settle in the living room at night, that Christmas night, in front of the beautiful Christmas tree. We would dim the lights and just kind of relax. We'd have tea and cookies and stuff and just sit there and be like, 2 hectic days of fun and family, and now finally, it's over, and, the next day is going to pretty much be back to normal life. But, Christmas was a big thing. I really loved Christmas. It was a build-up for me. In my life has always been a series of, like, looking forward to the next big thing. And I have to say something, and this is kind of unique. Since I started on YouTube and on the internet doing content, I'm not like that anymore. I used to be the kind of person, I'd be like, I just got to get through today, another shitty day, but in 2 weeks I'm going on this trip, or in 2 weeks I've got this coming up, or in a month this coming up, Christmas is coming up. I was always one of those people always looking forward to the next fun thing rather than focusing on the here and now. I really feel that, like, right now every day is a great day, really. Even though there are bad days, every day I get to wake up, I get to do what I like to do for a living, and I don't have to suffer through stuff to get to the next good thing. I have fun every day. So my life is so much different since I got to do this. And I do want to say during this holiday season, thank you to everyone who's ever, in past, present, or future, been a viewer, been a supporter, been a fan. You got to understand that you guys have changed my life. You make it such a positive experience, regardless of any kind of, nonsense that happens and creeps up. As you can see, I'm stronger than ever. I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't matter how many thousands of little infants are going to turn me into try to make a laughing stock out of me. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm pushing forward strong. 2014 is going to be a great year. I know it. Regardless of all the nonsense that's going on right now with YouTube and all this stuff. And it's very easy to focus only on the negative stuff when there's a lot of it. What you got to do is really focus on the positive stuff. Right now, I get to do a fun thing. Every single day is my job. I get to, share it with you right now in this kind of special way. I absolutely love it, and I thank everyone out there, really, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, because you made this possible for me, and I know it. I know that even though I was the one giving entertaining content, it's your viewership that allows me to survive. And thank you so much for that. I just want to say thank you to everyone, but also Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Festivus, whatever it is that you may be celebrating. If you do celebrate a holiday right now, have a happy one, have a good one. Don't take things for granted. A lot of people say, oh, I got to go meet with my family now and I got to do this. And don't be like that, all right? Because I can definitely tell you from my perspective, right now, I don't have a lot of family. Really, right now in Connecticut, I've got my parents. Every once in a while, I see my cousin. I got my great aunt, and that's about it. I don't really talk to anyone else. There's no family or anywhere nearby. I do miss the days when I was a kid, when I had a family and we would have these great holiday traditions. And it was funny because, of course, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, we got to go do that. We got to go see this person. But now I'm different. Now I really do feel things are different now. Things are I'm in a whole new perspective of my life where I wish that I still had that. So don't take it for granted if you have it. Whether people annoy you or not, learn to have a sense of humor and laugh with it and live with those people and cherish these times because you may not always have them. Okay? Here's hoping that in a year's time, I'm not here. That I'm in my new home with Panda Lee. We're starting our own family. And that doesn't mean that I'm trying to have kids right away. I mean that when we live together, that we'll have our own family, it would be considered. And we start our own traditions, you know? And that's just it. I really feel I'm at that level of my life where I'm ready to move to the next level. I'm ready to start my own stuff. Rather than living in the past and all the things that have passed by and I've lost, it's time to move forward positively to the future. And I hope that you and yours have a very, very happy, safe, and fun holiday season. Okay? All right. So that's it for back in the day. It was a pretty good segment, right? All right. So right now, I'm going to go on a short break. Wait a minute. A Toroni. Someone's got it. Toroni. Yes. Toroni is the holiday food. That's what it's called. Toroni. Thank you. Thank you. You got it. Yes. Toroni. It's holiday victory. Toroni. I'll be eating Toroni this week. I love it. Okay. All right. So thanks, everyone. I'm now going to take a short break. We'll be right back. When we come back, it's going to be the holiday Q&A. I hope they've submitted good questions. Or were they a bunch of Scrooges? We're about to find out. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hate Live returns very shortly. And of course, if you're on YouTube, just click the timestamp to skip this break. Okay, everybody, we're back. It's time for the home stretch of this special holiday episode of Hate Live Beta Podcast. So let's get right to it. Hopefully, the stream watchers have submitted some excellent holiday-themed questions for us. Let's take it to the stream chat. I would ask my mods at this point to please make it subscriber-only mode so that we don't get flooded with stuff. I'm going to explode. Let's go ahead. By the way, this isn't eggnog. This is water. Let's go ahead. Close it off. Pull questions. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And, all right, let's see what we get. I'm ready to reach deep down into Santa's bag, into the bowels of the bag, and pull out the best questions. What's number one? Oh, no. I think the stream mods accidentally just reset the raffle and deleted all the questions. I think they did. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. That's it. Next time, I'm employing elves. Because elves are slave labor workers and they never screw up. Elves will be running my stream chat from now on. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess what we're gonna have to do is open up the stream chat, and I'll just pick random questions out of the stream chat. It's gonna be absolute chaos tonight, but let's do it. That way at least we get some questions. We'll make a positive out of a negative. That's the Christmas spirit. Let's do it, guys. Take it out of sub-only mode. Take it out of sub-only mode, and I'll take questions randomly. Wow. And I'm a minute delayed, so I'm waiting. Hold on, everybody. Take it out of sub mode, please. This sucks because everyone's a minute delayed. Ugh. Just sitting here. Okay, wow, here comes a flood of questions. I'm looking for good questions. Hold on. I already explained about 5 times what I'll do if I leave Connecticut regarding co-op. I'm not going to repeat myself again on that one. Dash Zero asks, have I considered a segment on Hate Live where I talk about gaming from a business perspective? Maybe, I guess what he's thinking is maybe I'll pull sales numbers and stuff like that. I mean, I could do that, but I've never really been that much behind the scenes kind of a thing. I don't know if I would make it a segment on Hate Live. It may be a new show. I'm actually toying with a few things in 2014 that may be new stuff that I do. Every year, I like to reinvent myself a little bit, not just do the same stuff over and over. I mean, that was that stagnation in 2012 that I really feel kind of killed a few things for me. So, it's a possibility. Maybe I will do it from a business perspective. I don't know, but it's a possibility. Have I ever found myself in a situation where I was slapped across the face by a woman for saying something crude to her? Absolutely not. The most embarrassing thing that probably I ever said in front of a woman at my former office job, this was actually, there was this girl named Kim. Now, she was in her, I believe, mid-20s like I was at the time. And it was weird because she always had a different color hair. Like, at one point, her hair was black, then she dyed it blonde, and it was like dirty blonde. And I remember one day I was just genuinely curious, and I was like, gee, your hair looks nice like that, but why did you color it a different color? And I can't remember what the question was, but basically what it came down to is she admitted that basically her hair was prematurely white. Like she's in her mid-20s and her hair was white. And so she had to dye it to even get any pigment in it. I guess it was some kind of a hair disorder. And she was very embarrassed that I would ask. She says, boy, you don't have many manners, do you, that you would ask that kind of question? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, that was very rude that you would ask that publicly. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, what are you talking about? I says, you can ask me anything you want. I don't give a shit. I'm not, I don't think it's rude. I think that you're just oversensitive. And I pointed to my receding hairline. I said, don't worry, because every time I wash my hair, I lose a little bit more here. So, maybe you're dyeing your hair to hide it. This is kind of hard to hide. But it wasn't like she was going to slap me or anything. It was just kind of a weird thing where she was, like, offended that I would ask that. And I was like, why would you be offended? I don't even understand. Like, me, because I guess I have such tough skin. Like, why would you be offended at a question like that? I don't know. All right, what else do we got? We got, if I could go back in time and change something that happened in my life, what would I change? Obviously, what I would do is I would spend my teenage years working like I did, but instead of blowing all the money to go play competitive Street Fighter, I would invest it all in Apple stock. Right? And then right now, I'd be on my own island in the Caribbean, surrounded by bronzed supermodel women, being handed, luxurious drinks, my body being rubbed down with many kind of luxurious oils, my feet be having a nice pedicure, and, that's what life would be if I could go back in time, right? But we can't, that's what I mean. Everything is in hindsight, everything is, you wish you knew stuff, but you don't. You live your life the best you can. If you're asking me if I have any regrets, no, I really don't. I'm going to say this. I don't live my life in a way that has regrets. I've taken chances in my life. Some were dumb, some weren't so dumb. And, they've gotten me to where I am, and life is an ongoing struggle. There are some people who are so rich that they never really have adversity, but the adversity that I had has made me a better person, has made me a stronger person, and the choices I made, I stand by, okay? That's what being a responsible adult and a man is, owning up to what you've done, rather than saying, oh, I wish I could change the past and this and that. No, you need to own every decision you've ever made, and that way you don't feel like, oh, wimp, and I wish I could have, wishy-washy, I wish I could have gone back. No, I'm not like that. Let's see here. Would I ever consider getting back into lifting weights and living a more active lifestyle if I got back surgery and my back was fixed? Lifting weights, no. Because I'll tell you right now, it's too risky. Even if I had my back repaired in any way, lifting weights is always going to have a massive potential to re-injure. But being more active, sure. I used to have an exercise bike. And every day when I got home from work, I would run on that exercise bike for about 45 minutes, like big high resistance, while I watched a movie or something, and I burnt massive calories. I was a much healthier person. I just can't be that anymore, because if I were to do that, I would hurt my back. So yeah, I would probably do more cardio style stuff. I wouldn't do weightlifting. Someone's asking, how do I intend to tackle Watch Dogs, because people consider me the enemy of gaming, and they put a bounty on my head in games where I could be invaded. First of all, I have no idea what that aspect of Watch Dogs is. I don't know if people can just willy-nilly invade your game and do stuff. I don't know. If it's something that's so stupid and it hinders me, it's called unplug from the internet. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to do the same thing with Dark Souls 2. I'll try to play it. If I got too many assholes being dicks, unplug from the internet and play the game. Let's see. We got some silly questions going on. Come on, guys. I want to wrap this up. Let's get a few more good questions in here. I've answered this before, but I haven't answered it in a long time. Someone's asking, since I started working on YouTube, what do my parents feel about it, and do they watch my content? First of all, absolutely not. No, they don't. I've said this before. My parents pretty much don't get video games. They don't understand them. They're not entertained by them. The only video games my dad ever played with me were, Moon Patrol and Ball Blazer on the original Atari. But after the Atari, he basically completely lost interest and never really cared about video games ever. My mom's never touched a video game, so there's no reason they would ever watch my content. What do they think about it? I mean, they think it's great that I found a way to support myself independently without having to be in this stupid corporate world where they could just willy-nilly decide to lay you off and shit. I'll be honest, for most of my life before YouTube, they thought it was a complete waste of time. They didn't support the fact that I wanted to be a competitive Street Fighter player. They never understood it. They thought that it was a big waste of time. In a lot of ways, I think the Street Fighter years were, because it really didn't go anywhere when you think about it. But at the same time, it all led to now, and now they're like proud of me. So it's kind of a mixed bag. Let's see here. Looking for good questions. Someone says, Jealousy asks, if I switch networks out of and I'm not with Machinima anymore, would I consider keeping the network a secret so I can avoid trolls from submitting false complaints to the network? As this has become, has this become any type of problem with Machinima? No, it has not. Machinima is savvy to the ways of the internet. Machinima doesn't give a fuck if 1,000 people write them hate mail about how they hate me and I shouldn't be partnered with them. Machinima doesn't care. Here's what Machinima cares about. Does Phil put out original and creative content on a consistent basis? Does he monetize the videos per our contract? And does he, honor our contract? That's it. That's the extent of my relationship with Machinima. You know what I mean? Someone can whine and complain and stamp their feet to Machinima all they want, and it's not going to affect anything. And it would be the same thing with any partnered network. They're not going to give a shit that people are complaining. Now, false copyright claims is another thing entirely. That's for YouTube. That's not through my partner network. So YouTube has to deal with that. I can tell you this, since I've been with Machinima, no false copyright claims have been put against me. The only copyright claim I've gotten is the one from Sega that I got this week. That, by the way, SSOHPKC got the same strike. He disputed a binary domain video that it got content matched to Sega. He disputed it, and he got the copyright strike. It's not just us. A ton of people this week got copyright strikes from fucking Sega. So Sega really is in trouble because they fucked their image over with gamers. And we're all waiting to hear. I've been talking to them on Twitter. I'm still waiting to hear resolution. That shit has to get removed because it's not a legit copyright strike. That's why I challenged them to take me to court. It's bullshit. But no, that's never going to affect me. People can complain all they want. This isn't, again, so like I said, this isn't Blip TV. Blip TV is this little grassroots thing by this one company. And, oh my God, we're getting complaints? Kick him off the website. Versus YouTube's like, fuck that. We don't give a shit. Machinima was like, what? Are you fucking crazy? I don't care. Let's see, what else? If I switch partners, will I have to remove all videos with the Machinima logo? No, because it's too bad. I mean, that's already there, and no, there's no way you could force someone to take down their own content. And at that point, when I created those videos, I was under contract, so there's really nothing they could do about it. Someone's asking how many more times will I play Battlefield 4? As many as I want to. I mean, here's the thing. I've already said this. January is a dead month. So January, I'm going to be looking to really fill the time with different kinds of content. Battlefield is something that I can go back to, maybe once a week and play a session of, regardless if people are watching the hell out of it, which they're not. At least I can get some enjoyment out of it. You know what I mean? January is also going to be a month where I'm going to need to fill the time. So I'm going to probably start with a few games. Hold on a second, because here's the games I'm thinking of, everybody. Let me grab it. Put this down here. Alright, so the games that I'm seriously considering doing a playthrough of in January for downtime, the first one that I don't have here, because I don't have a copy of it physically, but I have it digitally, is Spider-Man Web of Shadows for the Xbox 360. This was one of my first playthroughs, even though it really wasn't a full playthrough. It was only like highlights at the time, but I really enjoyed the game. And keep in mind, that's one of my most viewed playthroughs ever. It's got millions of views on it, millions of views in certain parts. It's my highest viewed video on my original Darkside Filled channel. I would love to do that game again, okay? That's number one. The next game I'm considering doing a playthrough of is Lost Odyssey. I know this isn't the box for Lost Odyssey. This is a generic box, but I bought it. It's a very difficult JRPG, and for me to enable to do it properly, what I'm going to have to do is play it during, say, stream time, play it in advance in the story, and then at night go and grind at night, probably on stream. That's what I'm going to have to do, because it's that hard. It requires a lot of grinding to get through parts of this game. It's a very difficult game. That's what I'm considering, because I really enjoy that. Devil May Cry 3. That's right. I never played it. The Devil May Cry 3 HD remake. People have been asking for it for 100 years. I'm considering Devil May Cry 3. And then last but not least, probably one of the ones I want to play more, but I don't know how much interest there would be, Blue Dragon. This is, again, one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. Had a blast playing it. I played the fuck out of it. I actually, when I played this before I was doing stuff for YouTube, it was actually that year before, that year of me recording, I believe. Let's see, 2007. All right, so it was actually the year before. I got every character to level 99. I maxed out every character. I got almost every achievement in the game. I think there's only one I didn't get. That's how much I loved this game. I love this game. The music, the story, the graphics, the characters, it's so good. It's so fucking good. But here's the problem. I really want to play both of these games, but people fucking hate JRPGs. I don't know what it is, this mentality that people dislike JRPGs. I'm tired of it. I like them. I fucking like JRPGs. I want to play them, and people are giving me blue balls because I wanted to play these all year, and every time I played a JRPG, no one fucking watched. What the fuck is wrong with people? Seriously. Seriously. I want to hear from the stream chat right now. Why is it that people hate JRPGs and won't watch playthroughs of them? I love them. They're so much fun. The stories are great. I just don't know. I just don't know. People just, it's boring. It's boring. How is it boring? I don't get it. I'm from a different generation. I really am. I'm from a different generation. I grew up in a different era. This current generation just don't like the stuff that I liked, I think. I mean, let's be honest. I think that's what it is. So, I'm seriously considering playing some of these games or Spider-Man Web of Shadows in January as something to kill time. All right. I'll probably take one more question from the chat, and then we'll end this. Let me put these back, and then I'll pick a question. Okay, what's going to be our last question for this holiday episode? Let's see. I'm really not getting many good questions anymore. Really, none of these questions are like interesting me to the point where I would want to, do an extended answer or anything. What is the greatest, no, what is the worst Christmas disaster I've ever had? None. I don't think I've ever had like a huge Christmas disaster where something went horribly wrong, like the tree set on fire or, dinner was spoiled or something like that. I think for the most part, we didn't take many risks and we played it safe and we didn't have any kind of disaster. I've already mentioned this. This will end it. This will end the episode of Hate Live Beta, okay? Ooh. The biggest disappointment was the year that I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. The year where I wanted this one Wolverine action figure. It was like the early 90s, and he was extremely rare. It was the one rare figure that, that was a variant that you couldn't find anywhere, and everyone bought up the Wolverine figures, and I saw it at a comic book store for like $30, and I told my parents, listen, just buy it now. This was like October. I said, buy it now, hold it till Christmas, and give it to me at Christmas. I want it that bad, I'll wait. And they didn't buy it. They thought that they could, find it later, which they never did. Christmas came and went. I didn't get my Wolverine action figure. I ended up getting like 4 months later, but at that point, it was already old. There was already new waves of figures and stuff coming out, so I didn't really care about it anymore. That was like pretty much the biggest disappointment I had at Christmas. My parents didn't listen to me and buy something ahead of time that I knew would be in demand, and then I didn't get it for Christmas. All right, the last question, and this is it. Someone's asked me, what do I think of Ultra Street Fighter 4? Will I be picking up Street Fighter again? I don't think of Ultra Street Fighter 4 because I haven't followed up on any of the news. I don't know if the new character's been announced. I don't know if there's engine changes. I know nothing. I don't even know when it's coming out. But I am going to play it when it comes out. I'm going to give it a fair shake. I'm going to be doing sets of gameplay. I'm going to try to do well in it. I don't know if I will. It'll be cool because it's a clean slate for everyone. So I'll be able to try out the new characters. Like, I'm definitely interested in Rolento and Hugo. Absolutely. I think that they're both going to be great, I hope. And and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. If I ended up doing well, will I pursue other things with it? Maybe. But chances are I'm probably not going to take it that seriously. As I said, all these years of me trying to do competitive Street Fighter, sinking thousands of dollars, traveling the country to play it, and where did it get me? Nowhere. So when I dropped Street Fighter and tried to focus on other gaming, that I ended up becoming successful. So we'll see what happens, but as you know, I do have a passion for it. I do have a desire to play it from time to time. I am going to be playing Ultra Street Fighter 4. I just don't know how seriously right now. And that concludes the Hate Live Beta Podcast Holiday Special for 2013. I hope that you found it entertaining. I hope that I filled you with the Christmas spirit, that your bowels are now so swollen that as soon as I end, you're going to have to run to the bathroom and just empty your groin into the toilet of that candy cane flavored lovingness that I filled you with during this show. I hope that everyone, again, has a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, no matter what you celebrate. Be safe. Remember that I will be doing a Christmas special here on Christmas Day. Not here. On DSP Gaming, it will be released. The Christmas special, it's going to be great. I hope you guys will check it out. Thanks to everyone for all the things that you do throughout the year, following me, watching me. I appreciate it so much. I'll see you for new gameplay coming up this week. We got co-op tomorrow with John. We got more year-end series coming up and other gameplay. I'm really excited. I hope you are too. Thanks, everyone, for your time. Have a good night. Peace out. Merry Christmas. Happy Holidays. And to end it, the line that from Scrooge that always makes me cry when I hear it at the end. The little mute boy finally opens his mouth and he says, God bless us, everyone. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'll see you soon.